it's Jennifer and welcome to my Flagstaff home. Now, today's video is about tips for making tips about Amish friendship bread. Now, I'm sure that many of you have at some point in your life received from a friend a little Ziploc bag that had some starter for Amish friendship bread. If you haven't, the starter is kind of like, like if somebody's gonna make sourdough bread, you have to have a starter that gives it a real yeasty kind of a flavor when you make the bread. Well, this is a little special starter mix, and usually it goes from friend to friend to friend, and you'd think that the mix would get icky and gross, but by continuing to add in from time to time, so a little bit of milk, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of flour, it keeps the starter nice and fresh. And so the thing about Amish friendship bread, when you receive a little bag from somebody, you also receive a thing of instructions. You start out the first day, all they say to do is squish up the mix in the bag. You do that for 5 days, then you add in a certain amount of sugar, flour, milk, squish up the bag, let it sit for another 6 days, and on the 10th day, you add in some more flour, sugar, milk, and then you take a scoop, 1 cup scoop, and put it in 4 different bags. One of them you keep for yourself so you can keep making friendship bread, and then the other 3 you're supposed to give away to friends, and that's why it's called friendship bread. So you pass it on to them with a copy of the instructions. So this friendship bread, if you've never made it before, is absolutely amazing. It's not like bread. It's not like a dinner roll kind of a thing. You could make it for breakfast. It's that kind of a bread, or a dessert even. My husband and I have taken a slice and toasted it and then put ice cream on top of it. Oh my gosh. It's a real sweet, dense bread. Very delicious. But after you've used this a while, you kind of get sick of it. You kind of get sick of making a batch. It actually makes 2 loaves of bread. You kind of get sick of making that every 10 days. And so eventually you just dump what you have, or you give away all 4 of the bags to friends. Now you don't have any more. So 6 months later, if you decide you want to have it again, well, I don't have my starter anymore, so I can't make it. And you just hope that somebody eventually gives you some starter for Amish friendship bread. Well, here is one thing that I was really excited to find out about. A couple of years ago, somebody had given me some, and I'd made it before, I'd had it in the past, but somebody had given me some, and I was like, oh yay, starter for Amish friendship bread, I can make this. And I thought, well, how do I keep this going? Like, if I don't want to keep making bread every week and a half, how do I do this? And so I started digging around online. Guess what, you guys? You can freeze it. Yes, you can freeze it. So if you make you go through and you do the whole squish thing, and then you add the stuff you need to and squish it some more, and then you make your bread. And then you get to a point where you're kind of sick of giving it away to friends, or you don't have any friends anymore who will take it from you, and you don't want to necessarily keep this thing going. Also, you might be going on a vacation and you don't want to have to figure out what you're going to do about having the mix kind of, go flat on you while you're gone. You just take the little batch and stick it in the freezer. So I actually had 2 batches in my freezer last week, and decided that I was going to, I thought, that'd be nice to make. Fall is starting and everything, and so let's get that out. So when you pull it out of the freezer, the first day you pull it out, when the batch, it doesn't freeze like a rock. It just freezes so it's not as squishy as it was. That counts as day 1 when it's sitting on your counter and kind of thawing out. And then you start back up with the whole thing. So, okay, so that's great if you want to have just the same old Amish friendship bread all the time, which is pretty darn good. But then as I was digging around online, I found this great website. It's called it's called the Friendship Bread Kitchen. And if you click on the link to the coordinating blog post that I put in the space below, it will take you over to my website at myflagstaffhome.com, and it will be the exact link that goes over to the Friendship Bread Kitchen. On this website, this is the most comprehensive website about Amish friendship bread. First of all, it tells you how to make the starter. So if you don't have anyone giving you the starter for Friendship Bread, it tells you how to do the starter. Somebody has to start it, right? So it's really great, and it gives you the traditional starter recipe. It also gives you gluten-free options. Now, I am not gluten-free, but I know a lot of people out there are, and so it gives you a gluten-free option for this. So yay, you too can have Amish Friendship Bread. And then the other thing that is just so cool is that there is a huge long list, I mean a huge long list of recipes that you can use your starter in. So you don't always have to make the traditional Amish Friendship Bread. There is one recipe I made that had, that made dinner rolls that had dill in them. So it really was not a sweet roll at all, but it just had enough sweetness, I guess, to add some more flavor to it. Another one that I really love is called a drop scone. Like most scones are triangular, and a drop scone is more like a drop biscuit kind of thing. And this one had cranberries in it and a lemon glaze drizzle over the top. So good. But my favorite recipe that I've found on there so far, and they have all different kinds. They have all different kinds of things, so you have to check it out. But my favorite thing that I have found is a recipe for pumpkin scones. They're not terribly sweet. It's sort of like a sort of sweet biscuit. They are made in the triangles, and so you add some pumpkin stuff to it, and anyway, and you know, other ingredients too, but so good. So anyway, I'm gonna do a video about the pumpkin scones from that website, and you know, just kind of show you it's so easy. But anyway, so just wanted to tell you that this is a really great resource. It's been a really great resource for me. If you don't currently have a batch of Amish Friendship Bread starter laying around, you can certainly go on that website and read their instructions for making the starter. I just love this. I keep it all the time. I only have one bag of it now in my freezer. I've got this one on my counter, and I'll probably keep that one going for a while, because what I like to do is make a whole bunch of pumpkin scones, a whole bunch of them. And then I put them in Ziploc bags and I freeze them. So then for the next several months, through the fall and all that, we'll be pulling those things out and thawing them out and making them. Those are wonderful. I can take them to, you know, if there's some kind of an event or something where I'm supposed to bring something, I can bring those along. This batch that I have in my freezer, the one that I just pulled out, that's been going for about 2 years. Maybe a little more than that. Yeah, I mean, crazy, isn't it? So at least some element of it has existed in this bag for 2 years. And it just makes for really decadent kind of desserts. It also makes for things that are a little bit more savory. So I didn't know any of this before. I just thought it would be fun to be able to have it on hand, which is why I started digging around online and thought maybe you guys would be interested in that too. So check that out. Make your own. If you make your own starter, like if you start from scratch like it says on that website, I'd love to hear about how that goes, because I haven't done that. So anyway, comment in the space below. I'm sure we'd all love to hear about that. So hopefully this was helpful to you, and remember to go to my blog at myflagstaffhome.com. The coordinating blog post for this video is in the space below. Click on that and go over there to the exact website for the Friendship Bread Kitchen, and I hope I will see you again on My Flagstaff Home. Take care, you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.